this movie?
My name is Heidi Ewing, and I'm the co-director of 12th in Delaware.
And I'm Rachel Grady, and I'm the co-director of 12th in Delaware, too.
We're both the co-directors of 12th in Delaware. I think in terms of what the Oscar nomination did for us is, in a way, it makes access harder because, you know, it's like people get a little bit intimidated. Oh, you're Academy Award nominated filmmakers, and my story's not interesting enough, or they know that the film will get seen. You're not some random person that wants to make a film and it might not get seen. I mean, the subjects assume it might get seen on a large scale. So I think you have to actually, there's a little bit of a barrier there. You have to really relax and say, no, look, we're just storytellers, and we make a lot of films, and it doesn't mean anything what happened to the last movie. You know, every project is different. So I think it's a little bit, I mean, not to complain, but it makes life a tiny bit more difficult. It gets easier to make get your films funded, and a little harder to get access into very quiet places. And in this case, we, you know, shared Jesus Camp in our past films with the director of the Pregnancy Care Center, the Pro-Life Center, and she read all of our interviews and everything we've ever said and talked to us and decided to let us in. I would definitely not consider it infiltration. I mean, it was really very above board.
Well, you know, there's always a risk of, you can't expect people, I expect anyone that's going to participate in any film of ours to have some sort of agenda. Why would they do it? You know, if it may be for their ego, may it be for their cause. I mean, and that's their right. They can do it for whatever reason they want. And quite frankly, they can do what they please with the film as well. And so can anybody, not just the subjects. I mean, that's part of creating a document and giving it to the world. You're taking a risk, I guess. And, you know, hopefully you're making something that's nuanced enough that it can't be completely co-opted by anyone.
We wanted to film at a pro-life center that was at least in close proximity to an abortion clinic. That was one of the things we were looking for when we decided to go out and find the Crisis Pregnancy Center. I mean, obviously there's inherently more drama and more at stake when you're across the street or next door to an abortion clinic. Now, many crisis pregnancy centers are very close to or next door or across the street from a Planned Parenthood or abortion clinic. So it wasn't uncommon, but for us it was a must. And, you know, it made for a much richer story.
And it's a visual metaphor that, at the very least, we would have that.
Yeah.
Dark clouds gather, and the sound of all of that was incredible.
It's a very dramatic place, but if you blink, if you walk by, you could miss the incredible drama unfolding in both of these places. And that was amazing as filmmakers, I mean, as documentary filmmakers, to really happen across a corner like this, where it just seems like two suburban houses in like sort of a lower middle class area. And then if you look more closely, if you look again, there's these protesters, there's this drama, there's this car, there's these women, there's an incredible subculture that's vibrant subculture that's taking place, and there's a lot of drama there. And that's the most amazing thing about this, and this is repeating itself, this story, over and over and over and over again in every city in the country, and people don't know about it.
The relationship, actually, it was very collaborative, and we went to pitch them a bunch of other ideas, which they were kind of wishy-washy about. She kept on bringing up Jesus Camp. She kept on asking questions about different characters in it because she quite liked that film. And she asked about a particular child, and we were telling some background on the kid, who wasn't a featured kid in the film, but she had remembered him, and we told her that this child's mother worked in a crisis pregnancy center as an ultrasound tech. And she said, "What's that?" And we said, "Well, they're pro-life pregnancy centers that are often in close proximity to abortion clinics." And she said, "That would be a great film. Would you make that film for us? Would you be interested in developing that film?" So, although Heidi and I weren't, you know, rushing to make another film about the Christian right, or a, you know, extremely polarized topic, this had been something that when we had filmed in this crisis pregnancy center, we're kind of fascinated by it. And in fact, when I went into it, I had been confused myself. And I said, is this an abortion clinic? I thought they were pro-life. I'm so confused. And then I figured out what was going on there. So, and the only people that really go into them are, basically teenage girls in crisis.
About 50% of the girls we asked to participate said no. Some said hell no. And when they said that, we would disappear. We were very sensitive as women to the moment that they were undergoing and did not want to harass anyone or make their day worse than it already was going. So we had a lot of time with the women. There's a lot of waiting around in the waiting room before they can get seen. So we had time to chat and explain what we were doing. And women would just think about it, and they would decide if they're willing to do it or not. And it was about 50-50. But we were very, very careful, as women, to make sure that we weren't going to stress. And we don't go on location together. Rachel and I, we cast the films together, and we do all the setup together. And then we take turns going on location so that one person is more objective than the other. The person who's on location is very invested in the material, and the person who wasn't there maybe has is more objective when they look at the material.
Some freshness is maintained.
Yeah,
That's fascinating.
and that's I don't know if other co-directors do that, but it works very, very well for us, and it helps police the material, if you will,
It is
to make
more
sure
efficient.
more efficient, because we have other projects and other films it's simultaneously, and it's worked well for us.